Hello, everybody. This is Escape Room Weekly. We are escape room owners, and we're just documenting our journey as owners. We just opened, or we're just opening, a brand new escape room, and
Despair escape room.
Despair Escape Room, and it has been pretty challenging, but so far so smooth.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Everybody would be doing it. Anyway, I'm Jacob,
I'm Chris.
and yeah, so this is just the first almost writing in our diary of business ownership in the escape room industry. So
It's our documentation of what we have accomplished so far, where we came from, what we're doing, and then what we're gonna be doing. Just so you guys can see exactly what our projected opening date is and everything else that we have going on.
so far, the about 3 months ago, we honed in on a location to open up this escape room, and we since then have we made the almost debatable whether or not we should have even done this way. We could have found an already complete office uh, commercial property where we could have just went in there. There's already pre-built walls, rooms ready to go, and we just build the escape rooms inside there.
But
We
what's the fun in that? That's too easy.
we didn't do that. We just immediately took a a building that a property that was
Open
just
floor
big
space.
open floor space, and we had to build 3 walls to eventually just divide up the space into our rooms. We soundproofed with really thick insulation. We painted, we textured.
And just so you guys know, it's not just being able to set up a wall and you're done. You know, it took a lot of time. We had to measure everything out. We had to build the aluminum framing. We had to install aluminum framing, lug everything to the ground. We had to put up the drywall. We had to put the insulation up, like Jake said. Really, really good insulation. We had to install that. We had to put the other drywall up. We tried to tape in mud, and we figured out we're actually not that great at that. So we had someone else come and help us out to do the tape and mud, and then we got everything textured, and then we painted, and then we started to build the rooms.
And then a huge advantage that we had compared to most people that are going to start escape rooms is that we actually had an investor. Um, Chris has a large network of friends and family that just really, really hook us up. So we got a pretty large investment for just a percentage of profits after operating expenses. So basically, it's a no loss for us investment, because if we took out a loan, we'd be in debt. If the business went under, we would still owe that money back. Whereas this, almost it's really somebody believed in us enough to loan us the or just to give us the money in exchange for payments to get it back if it does well. If it doesn't do well, you know, he wanted to give us that opportunity anyway, and
Yep.
it was a huge help.
Hey,
So,
Pops, thank you for everything.
yeah, that's his nickname,
His
Pops. So
nickname's Pops.
definitely sending this to him. Other than that, where are we at right now? So
We have everything. We have all the rooms up. We started to work on the walls and the flooring for each room for the game room 1, which is Missy's Murder, and game room 2, which is the lab. We've been doing the floors, the walls. Jake's been doing a lot of extensive work on getting everything down for the social media part, being able to build the websites, the Facebook, Instagram, um, and be able to work on it as well. All in the meantime, driving down from San Diego back and forth every couple days to be able to work on it. We've been doing a lot of work on the room.
so for those of you that don't know, I'm enlisted in the Marine Corps. So a big part of my work week is just I can't work on this at all. And whenever I have off time, it's literally come directly down here to hustle on this. So, but I love doing it. So it's not like work for me. I'd be doing this anyway, even if there wasn't a big payout at the end. I love the escape room industry. It's for my nerds out there. It's live action role playing at its finest, but it's way more beginner friendly. You can just walk in and start doing it. I think where most escape rooms take it is that they just have a classic, you go into a room and there's puzzles to be solved, and if you solve enough puzzles, you get out of there. I personally see the industry going more into live action role playing, more story driven, more, you know, immersion in the situation, you know, really focusing on story and narration, which is definitely the direction I want to take our escape rooms. For like one thing, the first thing that I plan on having our escape rooms be different is our games are going to be episodic. So the first time you go to a Despair escape room game, you know, in these next 6 months or so, you're going to play episode 1 of an escape room. So in episode 1, there's going to be a story, there's going to be plot, you're going to play through the entire thing. There's going to be multiple endings for that game. So
and it carries on to episode 2.
So your experience is going to be a little bit different. At least the ending is going to be a little bit different than, you know, a different group of your friends of yours that went into the room also, which is going to be really cool because you're going to have that opportunity to, you know, actually discuss with your friends like what ended for you.
Another thing what Jake's talking about too that's going to be a lot different from any other escape rooms is on top of being episodic, you're also going to have your own pretty much storyline, your own background. Most escape rooms, you go in, they set you guys up. I don't want to say it's cheesy. I mean, nothing against other escape rooms. But that one person telling you, hey, you guys are in a hotel. You got to find a lottery ticket. Here you go. Boom. They throw you in the room. We want to be able to go on and over and beyond that. And what we're going to do is when we bring the people in, they're going to have their own files. They're going to have their own storylines, their background. Because let's say you and your family went in there, or you and your best friends, or you and a group of people you've known your whole life. You know each other. You guys know each other all the way around. When you go inside of our escape room, you're not going to know each other anymore. You know, you go back into our back cubicles. You guys have your own file for the character that you're going to be in that room. And as soon as you go into the room and we bring you in, you don't know who they are anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to find out who they are and who you are, and that's going to work with you, against you, for you. It's going to be able to create that mystery inside of the escape room that no other escape room is doing right now.
Yeah, so everybody usually gets a general overview of what the plot is of the room. So like you were saying, you know, you'd be like, you're a bunch of treasure hunters and you're trying to look for this magic crystal or something crazy like that. Whereas with us, we want there to be no brief of the actual escape room itself. There's going to be a general like safety brief before you go in there, but there's not going to be like a just, you know, overall like
breakdown.
Here's what's going to happen. Instead, you're going to be brought into what we are currently calling our prep room, where you are going to get handed a mini personal like packet, escape room in a packet. So that's what we're going to work with right now. Eventually it might be like a tablet where you can go through or whatever. But for right now, you're just going to get your own mini set puzzles, a low description, maybe a choose your own adventure, something like that, where you get your personal brief where, you know, maybe I have, you know, we all have the same goal to escape this situation, but I have different starting information than you do. And I don't,
and different tools.
Maybe I don't know that you don't know what I have, you know, what I have. Maybe I have knowledge that says, you know, if you get to this point, you always cut the red wire. I know that, but nobody else knows that. And maybe the skilled player would communicate that to everybody. But once they get into the room, are they going to just immediately start searching around everywhere to find out where all the clues are and, you know, start solving puzzles? Or are they going to first communicate everything that they just learned? You know, we don't want any communication right when they finish their little prep. We want them to do their prep and then
bring them right in the room.
Immediately bring them right in the room. Time starts. So you're almost getting an hour and 15 minutes because the actual escape room itself is going to be an hour, but your prep time is going to be
15 minutes.
You know, 5 to 15 minutes, somewhere in there. So you're going to go in there, you're going to be amped up to explain this knowledge, or maybe you're not going to be amped up to explain this knowledge. Maybe
you want to keep it hidden.
Maybe you have, you know, some secret knowledge that only you should know.
Bad history, bad background that you have no idea how the other people might react to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And what it's going to cause, what kind of anarchy, chaos, or if it's going to be beneficial to the group.
Exactly. So we want to just uh, most escape rooms, their version of creating problems and challenges for the players. I mean, that's what video games are. Is there's just a bunch of challenges in the way, and then you solve them, and then you get this rush of dopamine because you accomplish something great. What most escape rooms do is they just have difficult puzzles. Like that's their form of challenges. Where I want to keep the puzzles there, but start inducing other forms of challenges. So social challenges. Maybe there's a game element to where you have to keep protecting, the rest of the players while they solve the puzzles, or maybe you have to, go on the attacks in some way inside the room so that the other players could, eventually solve puzzles. Maybe you're not good at solving puzzles, so there's something else that you could be doing that would still be really fun. Maybe there's an element to where everybody has to stop solving puzzles right now so that we can all deal with this problem. All these ways to just throw curveballs in and to create this flow in the game, which is going to be really exciting. So that's where we want to be different inside our escape rooms. But our first episodes aren't going to be exactly perfect, but over the next few episodes, we want to eventually get to that level where we could create this live action
gaming empire.
Yeah, like this live action movie that you're going to be in. That's where I think we should take it. Instead of it being a game where you solve puzzles together as a team, I want it to be like a straight up movie. So, video games have cutscenes. You do this huge fighting mission, and then all of a sudden there's this cutscene where some story element happens. Maybe a character dies. This huge dialogue happens. We want to put that into our games. A break in the action, and then all of a sudden there's some calmness, and then you hear maybe some characters do some stuff just hear them over a speaker system or something, or maybe there's an action that you did that created a consequence, and you as a team feel like you've created that consequence happen. You made that happen. So that's something that we really want to take advantage of. I mean, there's so many things. Like most of the escape rooms that we've been to don't take advantage of sound.
Another thing too, out of the escape rooms that are more in our area, we haven't seen none that are horror. We are going to be a lot of horror. Our pretty much our recipe. Go ahead, Jake. Is
what was it?
1 cup to spare.
No, it's like 1 cup horror.
1 cup horror.
1 cup puzzles and a dash of despair.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. We should actually write that down somewhere.
Yeah, and know that, because that's gonna be something that's different from. There's a lot of different aspects that are gonna be a lot different from any other escape rooms that are out right now, which is gonna be able to
at least in our area. I mean, we're not experts in Las Vegas escape rooms or LA escape rooms. Just in our little small community, the escape room industry is growing really, substantially. Even the escape rooms that are already there are adding rooms, but we're going to be the first horror escape room. There actually is a horror escape room in the high desert, but it's only open on Sunday nights.
3 hours. 3 hours for a whole week.
which really sucks. I mean, I guess they have their reasons for doing it, but
we're super booked in advance.
Yeah,
so.
We're going to be the only ones that are consistently open. We want to be the like, how do I say it? We want to be the reoccurring horror escape room inside the high desert, because we want to take full advantage of multiple episodes over a yearly period. So instead of having one game that lasts
3 years,
3 years like a lot of escape rooms, once you go to a game, you're done with that game.
You don't go back.
You're not going to go back to that business ever.
If you pass it, you get through it, or you don't get through it. No matter what you do, you don't go back. That's like playing a video game twice and you already beat it. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Well,
it's not as fun. It's not as fun the second time.
The thing
is
an
escape room.
If it wasn't, it's a puzzle solving game. So once you have all the answers to the puzzles, it's no fun anymore. Yeah. We could, like, if we got to the point where it's like 25% puzzles and 75% game aspect. Like, I always thought about the idea of having you create a room that looks like a spaceship, and then you have screens on all the walls to make it look like they're just windshield or windows going out into space, and then you create a game element where you have to fly the spaceship around to do stuff. Kind of keep it like open world maybe. I think that would be cool because people would come back reoccurringly because it's only 25% puzzles and the rest of it is an actual game element. That's not what most escape rooms are. It's 90% puzzles. So once you have the answers to the puzzles, you're not going to come back again.
Yeah.
So where we want to
unless you want to take that girl on a second date or take a new girl on a date and look like you're that much of a badass.
Yeah, you just solve all. You have all the answers.
You solve them all that quick. It takes an hour, but you're done in 15 minutes.
Speaking of which, Despair will not disclose whether or not you were there already. So if you come back with another girl, we'll pretend like that's the first time you've ever been there.
Give you the wink. There you go. Definitely getting laid.
Yeah, that's where we want to be different. Is we want you to be able to come back, 6 times in a year and have a different, unique experience every single time.
So definitely keep tuned into our podcast and keep checking us out for seeing our updates. Hopefully we will be open. Today's May 9th?
May 9th. I was thinking like 3 weeks maybe until we're open.
Hopefully by the end of the month. Hopefully by the end of May, June, before June. We'll be able to get open with everything else that we need to get done with building the props. We have signs up. We got to finish doing a couple other details. That's one thing that's going to be solid about us too is paying attention to fine detail. It's not going to be something super cheesy. It's going to be very, very detailed, and it's going to be badass.
We just want to. We don't want to spell it out for everybody that comes into it. But if you pay attention to the small details inside of every aspect of Despair escape rooms, whether that be online, whether that be on the property, whether that be in-game, whether that be, stuff that you could take home with you, that's going to be something different that we do that other escape rooms won't. We want you to take home some goodies and stuff from the room. All of it could be a potential clue, a bit of information that adds up to a bigger and larger story in our Despair escape rooms universe. So if you just pay attention, keep an eye out, and start to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, you'll find out what's really going on in our universe inside this
Think
game.
outside the box.
So anyway, so that's all we have to say this week. We are going to do this every single week just to keep everybody up to date on what is happening in Despair escape rooms. We're probably going to take little clips of this out and post it on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that. So
media.
Even if you don't listen to the full podcast, we should try to get all this information out to you every single week. So anyway, take care.
Take care. Later.